Hey everyone,
Anyway,
welcome to the Hume Scope podcast, Roles and Lols. For those of you who don't know Hume Scope, we're a recruitment training business based in Australia, and to date we have trained thousands of recruiters across Oz, New Zealand, and a bit of Europe.
this is going to be a 10-minute quick tips and tricks with hopefully some laughs along the way for agency recruiters.
Yeah, hopefully you enjoy, and if you ever have any topics you'd like us to cover in the poddy, please shout out. Otherwise, you'll see us every week on a Friday for 10-minute episodes. Hopefully you enjoy.
See ya.
Hello, hello.
Okay, back again to speak some more leadership stuff.
In this one, team, we are going to share real life examples and what we've learned personally from our leadership journeys.
Yeah, from
Um,
leading and being led as well.
mm,
Yeah, been quite the
yeah,
journey.
I mean, I think the leadership journey is so complex because it's so individual. Whilst there's some sort of techniques and overarching themes of what we do and don't do as leaders, how we go about those things is actually quite individual to the person and the
Mm.
people they're leading. So that's why it's sort of rife with so much potential for getting it wrong. And I think we can, I mean, like everyone, you learn from past mistakes a lot. I'd say more so than past successes. You
Mm.
learn more from the mistakes that you've made or have seen be made. So we're going to share a few of them.
All right, I
Question
would
for
say,
you.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, question for you. What has been your worst leader? Don't mention them or their business.
Is Khan Hume Scope? No.
And why?
Worst. I would say, while I still have a lot of respect for this person,
Oh, do you think they're going to be able to work out it's them?
no. But to be fair, I would say there's definitely been a few, not great, but I would say not great because I think a leadership role is fucking hard to do.
Mm,
But I would say when the words don't match the action,
mm,
you call bullshit. Everyone can call bullshit. If you speak this big game and this is what we've created and this is what I can do for you and it's like this big
mm,
kind of fake talk and like, yeah, we're gonna do this and you're like leading from the front and then it's the opposite is done. It's like check out zone
mm,
for myself, but also for the team. And that's when I think not that it's about like earn your respect, but
mm,
there's it's the disconnect between the words and the action, I
mm,
think, is where it can get shaky. And that's why following up from that, a good leader to me is someone, and that's because this is what I resonate with, is and this is to say what I resonate with you is as a great leader is transparency. And I think you and other leaders that have worked really well for me is someone that can say I can't do that right now, or like this is not
mm,
going to work for this reason. I'm actually packed up for the day. Can we circle back tomorrow because this is
mm,
important and I want to give it time. It's not going to work today. That works well for me because I'm like it means something to them. They care about it. They want attention on it, but they're not going to
mm.
fake it and then forget about it the next day.
Yeah. Mm,
Transparency is, I would, for me, number one.
yeah. I think that would be for most people, hey? I
Yeah.
think my worst leader was a guy by the name of Joking. No, and I think similar to you, I do have a lot of respect for this person. However, it's in spite of their leadership of me, and the key fundamental flaw that I saw in their leadership is that they actually weren't strong enough or confident enough to put their foot down.
Mm.
It's a funny one because I think most people go that my leader puts their foot down too much and they decide blah blah blah. But mine was the opposite. This particular leader, whilst absolutely lovely, was a yes person. And they
Mm-hmm.
said yes to everyone. So I'd come to this particular person and go, look, this isn't working because of X, Y, Z. This person's doing this. This is what we need them to do. And he'd be like, oh my God, absolutely, 100%. And I'd be like, okay, this is how we're going to roll it out. And he'd be like, yes. Literally 2 days later, someone else would say something to him. And he'd be like, oh yeah, that person's right. And then nothing would actually get action because he was saying yes to everyone and wasn't confident enough to go, look, I hear your point of view, however, that won't work because of X, Y, Z. This is what we're doing. And so for me, clarity on a vision and someone who actually leads and is comfortable to say, look, great idea, Luce, but it's not going to work because of X, Y, Z. Sorry,
Yeah.
but that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be, no, we're not doing that. It can be, look, it won't work because of X, Y, Z. We're going to stick to this for now and let's all push forward. So someone that's confident enough to actually just steer their ship, because you need one person steering a ship. You cannot have 10 people steering a ship because it goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen that go wrong in so many businesses where all the leadership team have got equal say, and whilst equal say is nice, but you need one person with ultimate say to guide that ship forward.
Yeah.
If you don't, it goes nowhere.
Question for you.
Hmm.
What has been your biggest uh, misunderstanding or lesson, I guess, from what you expected being a leader would look like, and what you actually have learned that it's, what's been different about that, or your biggest lesson, I guess, and to overcome in a leadership
That's a
role?
good one. Honestly, to be very, very transparent, I thought it was going to make me a hell of a lot more money than being an individual performer. So I thought that's where I'd get the success from with
Yeah.
taking a leadership role. And it wasn't the case. For years, it wasn't the case. It was that you have to take a step back. You're no longer the star performer. You're no longer making a huge amount of comms. You're leading people, and that can seem so unsatisfying for the first year or two because you're there to guide people, and a lot of people don't want to be guided and be shown structure. So it can seem like a thankless task at the start, but when
Mm-hmm.
it turns around and when people start seeing your leadership style working for them and making them more money and the wheel starting to turn and turning in the right direction, that's when it starts to be worth it for you as a leader because you start seeing people change their behaviors, start seeing them making more money, seeing them be more successful, seeing them lean on you more. That honestly means more than the money. And yes,
Mm.
as a leader, the money comes, but honestly, it doesn't. Like, if you're a super high performer going into a leadership role now, don't expect to be remunerated a hell of a lot more than your individual performer role. It's just not going to happen. But it will
Mm-hmm.
happen in a couple of years because then you'll have a few years of leading people, and that's when you can stop sort of billing as much and start getting team commissions, but it happens over a period of time. So if you're only doing it for the money, like I initially was when I took my first leadership role, it's not going
Big
to be the
surprise.
case. Yeah.
I want to ask a bit more of a light-hearted question as well. What is just some like funny kind of like leadership fuck ups that you've seen along the way, whether it's
Oh
getting
my
something
god,
done
I've got.
or just like situations where you've just seen, oh my God, I cannot believe they said that or they did that, or wow, that is the wrong thing to have done.
Oh my god. So it was me and another leader within this business. It's so funny. So we were being led by the owner of this business, and we didn't fully agree with that owner's. It was a particular topic, and it was just a complete shit show. And me and this other leader were texting on our way into the office one morning, and we were like, oh, fucking, what a fuckwit. Like, I can't believe he's done this, blah, blah, blah. And we weren't being the kindest, but we'd had like an earful of it. And we were like, oh,
I
God.
feel like I know what's coming.
Ollie texts me, or what he thinks is texting me, and he says something really awful about our leader and accidentally sends it to the leader. And we were both on our way into the office to meet that leader. And so we had the most uncomfortable journey into the office because we were texting and we were like, fuck, this is now going to be so awkward. But we got into the meeting room and no one mentioned it. It was like it never happened.
And it was so obvious it was about that person.
Oh, it's so obvious. It was so obvious.
Names were dropped, situations were
Yeah, it
referenced.
was very, very obvious. Yeah,
Okay.
so never talk about people
Yeah,
by text.
that's good. My one would be we had a leader, and I'll be careful because I don't want to give away too much, but they would sit in the office like this, like with their feet up on the table, on the desk, and
Oh.
sit and then be on their phone texting and be giving out orders to the juniors and come into work late, feet up on the table, texting. You need to make more calls. Get on the phones. Like getting in this, what are you doing? Stop fucking about. Get on the phones. And everyone would just be like, is anyone taking this person seriously, really? Because what do they even do? Like you couldn't understand, I guess, the method. And yeah, that was a lesson to me of you can't be not doing anything and shouting orders because ain't no
Lead
one
from the
respecting
front.
that. So
Oh,
good.
God. Oh, we're all going to make mistakes, aren't we?
Oh gosh, yeah, we've all made them, and I think that's the like every role, right? Like you're going to learn so much about yourself in these situations and what's going to work and what isn't, and yeah.
I would say with leadership, the thing that I did learn is when you're in a junior consultant role, to get to the next level, i.e., consultant, and then to get to the next level of recruiting, executive consultant or principal, those are skills. Typically, you upskill on the role of a
Hmm.
as your role, the functional role of a
Yeah,
recruiter. So you need to get better at BD, better at client management, blah 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 blah.
time management, yeah.
But the leadership stuff actually is upskilling on the people side. It usually isn't around you need to get better at recruiting. It's actually you just need to get better at motivating people. And to do that, you need to understand people better and yourself better. So I would personally say the biggest learning that you can do that will benefit your team will be getting to know yourself better. And that's such a hard one to advise people on because it will be individual. Like I've done ayahuasca a few times. I'm not going to say everyone should do ayahuasca, but that was really beneficial for me to understand myself better, which in turn helps me communicate better with people and understand people better. Like there's so many individual things. It could be yoga, I do sand healing. Like there's all these things that I've tried that help me understand people and myself better, but then help me in my leadership role. So I'd
Hmm.
say it's those things that I'd be looking at upskilling on versus the functional stuff.
Yeah, therapy for me. Oh, learn a lot. No, it's so true because the role of a leader in a recruitment agency, it's not actually recruitment based. Like your softer skills around people communication, goal setting, following up, like that's yeah, it's a completely different skill. Managing a recruitment team is fucking hard because oh my gosh, they're doing so many things and you've got to manage all of their things.
Mm,
But yeah, it's a different job than a
mm.
consultant. Very different. And
It is, ending the aside, it is so, so worth it if you're in it
oh,
for
it's
the
the
right
best.
reasons.
Yeah. I've loved my leadership roles. I think they're so rewarding. And for me, I've never been, I'm a recruiter, I'm a salesperson. I love money for sure, but I have never been motivated by that. It's around
Mm,
the people in the team and seeing that success and seeing those light bulb moments for yourself, but
mm,
also your team. And the camaraderie, just like
mm.
getting so like high and everyone's just frothing their jobs and you're
Yeah.
being the one that's, providing that and giving that.
Mm,
Wow, what a feeling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if anyone wants to chat through, if you're considering taking a leadership role and you're not sure, please feel free to give us a buzz.
Don't do
Um,
it.
well, don't do it if you're just doing it as I probably should because I'm now a principal consultant. This is the next step.
Mhm.
But those steps rarely work, in my opinion. So have a think about it, chat to us. We're so happy to chat through. But hopefully you enjoyed this week's episode.
See you soon.
See you.